Hello, everybody. See, we'll get going right away. So for those of you that maybe have friends in the group, know a bunch of people in the group, maybe tag them in the post that I just did, and that'll get everybody going, hey girl. So the first thing that I want you to do, and because this is the first training, there's going to be a little bit of just helping you guys along to get you going. The first thing I want to do is I want to go live on Facebook in the group. So just give me a second here. Hey guys, so once you get in, if you scroll down to the bottom of the chat, on the bottom of your screen, you'll see participants, Q&A, polling, share, you'll see chat. So press on the chat button and that's gonna open up on the side so you can see everything. So right off the bat, I just wanna make sure that I can get us live on Facebook for everybody that maybe struggled a little bit getting this going. It's not working, actually, which is okay, because it's not totally mandatory, but I want to get this going. So once you get in, guys, say hi. Let me know where you're from. We are going to keep these trainings. We just don't want to get you guys overloaded, right, at all. And we want to be able to make these super accessible for all of you. Oh, Red here, California. Yes, please tell me where you're from while we're waiting for everybody to come on. We got 54 people. We'll just, please comment. Okay, so I want to tell you something right off the bat. So engagement, and I said this in my live if you missed it, but it's actually been scientifically proven that when you actually engage, and that's why we wanted to do these live, when you actually engage, it helps you retain 30% more of the information. So it's really huge for you to comment, for you to engage, and for those of you that don't normally do that, that's totally fine. But we're here for change, right? We really oh, here we go. We're going live on Facebook. So just give me a second, sharing a group. Q4, this is exciting. Because you know what? The thing about technology is we never really know what we're gonna get. We don't. It's pretty good most of the time. Perfect. Okay, I think we're live on Facebook. This is great. Live. Okay, go live. There we go. Yay. So I'm just gonna wait for it. Please continue to tell me where you're from, your name, and all that good stuff. Nice. Okay, we're good. We're live on Facebook too. Okay, perfect. So we just want to be able to obviously make sure that everybody has the easiest access to this training tonight. We are live. Perfect. Super excited. Maine, Vernon, from all over the world. I even seen somebody was from the Maldives, actually, even, which is super cool. And that's why I love what we do, is because it really expands us into all areas of the world where we can meet people from all over the world and, not limit ourselves to just one place and one market. So for those of you watching on Facebook, the main thing with Facebook is, unfortunately, the questions can get lost. So if you have questions on Facebook and I don't get to them tonight, then I will get to them eventually. It's just more in here on Zoom where I'm streaming this, there's a Q&A. And so first off, I just want to let you guys know that the easiest way for me to answer questions effectively is for you to put them in the Q&A, but please write your questions down, and then at the end, I'm going to do a Q&A. So the training's gonna be about 15 to 20 minutes max, and then I'm gonna do a Q&A. And then after that, for those of you that might not have been able to jump on, you had to jump off, you can actually go back and watch, okay? So let's start. So tonight is we're going to talk about, and I do have some notes written down, but I am going to make this organic, and that's a lot because this has been organic for me. I've been in a lot of businesses. If you guys haven't seen my my story before, please go back and watch it after this so that you can really get a good idea of where I'm coming from, my experience, and it helps to create that, what's the word? Like, okay, she has done some other things. She might know what she's talking about. Who knows? So what I want to talk about tonight is what is a personal brand. So I just want to know who doesn't know what a personal brand is or fully understand it. If you understand it, that's great. But I want to see how many people don't understand what a personal brand is. So please type in the chat if you don't, just so I can get a really good idea of how many people are out there that really don't understand it. And there's nothing, like, I had no idea what a personal brand was 2.5 years ago when I started. So that's totally, it's totally normal. And I think that the one other thing about talking in the chat is what it does is it really helps other people be like, wow, I'm not alone. You know, like this is totally new for a lot of people. And it really is. And this personal branding is exactly what we're going to talk about tonight. And this will actually go for, and we did promise you guys, obviously at the end of all these trainings, we're going to share with you exactly what we use and the program we use. But we understand that there's a lot of people in here that just want the education. And I think that a lot of times when you get into these types of trainings, it's like, well, all they're doing is selling what they're doing. And that's not what this is going to be about at all. This is actually going to be about education so that you can make the proper decision for what you want to do, right? So let's talk about personal branding. So this is really massive, and I didn't really understand the concept behind it until I understand the way sales and marketing worked. Now, a lot of people don't want to be the face of a brand, but I'll tell you, and Melissa and Nikki are going to get into this later on in a few days, but sales and marketing has changed so much that if you don't like, know, and trust somebody, they generally aren't going to buy. And that's because the business of online, so many people have been burned, so many people just don't trust anybody, that you actually have to create relationships with people. And the only way to do that is by branding your personal self. So the way this looks is, no matter what your business is you have to get in front of it. People have to know who's behind the brand, what created it, and why you're here. And that's imperative in being able to create relationships with people. And the reason being is, like, let's be honest. I know a lot of people in here are probably like, well, it could be a scam. It could be this, it could be that. But I'll be totally honest with you. If I was a scam, my Facebook page would not be running for the last 2.5 years. One bad review can destroy a company. It really can. So by creating a personal brand, one of the huge benefits of it is that you literally get to brand yourself. Now, I've owned companies and I've owned businesses, and a lot of people spend a ton of time trying to think of the name of their company. Well, I'll tell you what, there is one Shauna Clark as far as what I do. There's lots of Shauna Clarks out there, but how many Shauna Clarks do what I do? I don't know any. So I've branded myself as Shauna Clark. I have a Shauna Clark YouTube channel. I have a Shauna Clark Instagram page. I have a Shauna Clark Facebook page and Facebook business page. Now, branding yourself, what it does is there's a couple things, and I will always be 100% upfront with you and very honest. There's a couple things that happen with a personal brand. When you are the face of your brand, you have to be a good face. And it doesn't mean like putting things on, like everything's perfect and anything like that. But the fact is if you aren't actually taking care of your business, taking care of your brand, taking care of everything, then yes, things can go sideways. So the fact of the matter is, by becoming your own personal brand, you kind of get shoved into, I need to become the best version of myself and the best entrepreneur that there is out there. And that's not a bad thing. You know, it's not. We all have bad days. We all have things fall behind. But at the same time, if you can really work on being a powerful leader, business owner, and personal developer, it can massively expand your business. So that's one thing, is by it. And this is the thing, is, and we'll talk about this later on, is as soon as you put a product in front of you, right? As soon as you do that, as soon as you put a product in front of you, you actually remove the ability to be able to change and mold your business model. So by becoming your own personal brand, you actually can create multiple businesses from that brand. So as soon as you put a product or business first before you, what happens if we talk about economic downturn, we talk about product oversaturation, talk about anything like that, you actually will become super, like, you can't actually even move any farther ahead, because it's not you, it's the model, it's the product that you've put in front of you. The fact is, you're human, you can grow, you can evolve, you can change, right? And this is the other thing about building a personal brand, is there's 3 things about you that make you you that no other person on the planet can compete with. Because every person has 3 different elements and aspects that make them them. So by building your own personal brand, not only are you taking your unique characteristics and marketing them, but you're also taking your unique talents and capitalizing on them. Because there's something about every single one of you that you're better at than a lot of other people on the planet. That is a fact. And every single one of you, what I want you to do right now, because I do want this to be interactive, I want you to give you, not homework, but I want you to be able to take what I'm saying, and I want you to be able to start utilizing it. And this is a really big part of a success tip that I'm going to give you right now, is everything that I'm saying right now, there might be one teeny tiny little thing that resonates with you, but if you actually start, if I give you an activity or an exercise that you can do, you're going to actually have a way higher chance of being able to absorb it. So what I want you to do right now, I told you guys all to have a pen and paper, is I want you to write down 3 things about you that you're really good at. And the reason I want to say that you're really good at and not passionate about is because the things that you're really good at are actually the things that you're passionate about usually. And now I don't want you to write, for the parents out here, I don't want you to say I'm a really good mom, I'm a really good dad, because that is something totally different. I want you to think of your talents and skills. And if you're struggling a little bit with that, because I am a mom and my kids are still fairly young, I actually had to really think about who I was before I had children and what I was good at, right? So for me, for an example, I'll give you an example. I'm really good at speaking. I'm really good with my words. So I'm really good at speaking. I'm really, really good at being motivated. So that's what makes me so active. I'm super physically active, and I'm very creative. So those 3 things are kind of the baseline. So those are your 3 baseline things, okay? Now what you're gonna take from those 3 things is you're gonna expand on them. Maybe not tonight. This is something I want you to do later. So you can write those 3 things down, the 3 things that come to your mind. But your next step with this is going to be, okay, so how am I actually using those in my life? So I said speaking. Well, look at where I am. I'm here right now speaking to you guys, sharing with you something that I've learned, okay? So I'm really good at public speaking. I'm really good at training. So that's what I'm doing now. The second thing is I'm really dedicated. I love yoga. So I do yoga every day. I post it on my Instagram. I post it everywhere. And I've actually created a business out of it. And we'll talk about that later on in the week, how you can use your personal brand to create multiple business models. And the third thing is I'm really creative. So I love to make stories. And I am really good at photography. So can you guys see, can you just write in the chat if you understand how I did that first level of just what it was and then how I'm applying it in my daily life. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? And please, if you don't understand, tell me, because I want to help you understand. And if there's a million people writing yes and you write no, that's fine. And that's what I really want you guys to get in the mindset of, is not looking at what anybody else is doing, but really, this is a big success tip. Doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, doesn't matter what anybody else understands. What do you need? And if you're not clear and you don't ask for it and you don't step up and say, no, I'm not, you get left behind, not because you're not smart, nothing, but because you're a different kind of learner. And that's totally fine. And my job of being here is to be able to communicate as effectively as possible, because I'm always learning too, right? I want to grow. I'm here right now and I'm going to learn something from this training. I'm going to learn something from what I teach you. Got it. Everybody's got it. 10-4 rubber ducky makes sense. Okay, that's good. I am looking at the chat. I'm trying to make sure that I stay really on track, because these trainings, I don't want them to be too super long for you guys. So that's the first thing. How is personal branding changing the world? Well, when you build a personal brand, there's so many different things that can happen with it. Not only can you build your own business models and everything like that, but what you can also do is you can become an influencer. And one of the biggest things for me has been, if I can become the best female version of myself and really put myself in that spot where Shauna has bad days, Shauna doesn't want to move forward, but there is a lot of people watching me that actually might not be where I'm at yet, and they need me to be there. It gets my ass out of bed every single day. If your why is just about you and your brand, you won't succeed. It has to be bigger than you. And it can't just be your children. My why is huge, but it can't just be that surface level stuff. So a personal branding, how it's changing the world truly, is it's allowing people to not only do what I just gave you an exercise to do, but really go, what are my talents? And how am I using them? And if I'm not using them, how do I want to use them in my life? How do I want to apply them? So the thing is like becoming my own personal brand is the best thing that's ever happened to me, because it got me out of bed every day and went, you know what? If you can't do this, how can you expect anybody else to do this? The other way it's changing the world is it's allowing people to step into their passion and get online and share it with people. It doesn't matter what your business model is, because at the end of the day, the number one dream right now, the number one American dream, they call it, is becoming an entrepreneur. That is the number one American dream. It used to be owning your first house, but now it's becoming an entrepreneur. Why is that? Because people are feeling empty. They want to use their skills. They want the growth. They want to move forward. They desire it so bad because that's really what humans want. They want progress. The only way to get progress is for you to start doing it for yourself. So when you become your own personal brand and you put yourself out there, it drives you. Not because you want to prove to anybody, but because you know that your why is bigger than you. That you have skills that the world needs. Every single one of you on this call, and if there's those of you that are like, oh, I could never do what she does. Well, guess what? I'm really good at speaking. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. This is just where I've landed because I've gotten really good at it. But there's so many things that you're really good at. And to be honest, this is just confidence. I'd never had confidence. I couldn't even look at people in the eye. But then I went, you know what? I remember being a little girl and I was really confident. I want to get her back. So the fact of the matter is it drives you to become the best version of yourself, to share your talents, and to be able to diversify yourself and build multiple business models. That's how it's changing the world. And it truly is, because I'm my own boss, I'm my own brand, I'm my own business. No matter what happens, no matter what business platform, product, anything I'm with, I have about 50,000 people that follow me because of who I've become over the last 2.5 years. They've seen what I've done with my life, It's not fake, it's real, and it's inspiring. So that's kind of cool. I think that's cool. I want to change the world. I have 2 little kids, and I want them to grow up in a world where they actually feel like they can do anything and that they can do what they love, right? So just one more tip before I kind of close this off for a Q&A is why this is so valuable no matter what the business model is. And I touched on this a little bit earlier, how I just said, if you're not tied to a product, you actually can create anything from that space. And that's truly it. Because remember I said each one of you has 3 talents that make you you? Well, it's not ironic, and actually I just realized this. I'm gonna be totally honest. I just realized this. This is so cool. I created 3 business models, and every single one of them is exactly what I just told you guys. Oh, I'm gonna get emotional. I've never even realized this before, but fuck, this is validating. And I'm sorry, I do swear a little bit. And this is the thing is I know the other girls, we can drop a few things every now and then. So if there's little ears around, I want to put your earbuds in. But I created 3 business models, and I literally just realized, I got goosebumps too. Oh, so cool. I just realized each one of them. So I created I'm doing what I'm doing now, doing this. I'm good at public speaking. The second thing that I'm good at is yoga. I have an international yoga company that I run international yoga retreats. It's been a year. Most successful company I've ever done. Third thing, I have an independent company, and it's 100% about creative. It's 100%. And all 3 of my companies have done really well. And I used my personal brand, my one platform, my one business model to launch every single one of them. How cool is that? How many of you, just out of curiosity, before we go into the Q&A, how many of you have locked yourself into a business, spent a ton of time and energy and money, and it didn't work, and you had to walk away and you lost everything? I want to see how many people have done that before. How many of you, and this is what kills entrepreneurs. This is what kills entrepreneurs, is you guys tried something and it didn't work, and you walked away and you lost everything. And then it stung you a little bit because you were like, well, I don't want to do that again. If you build your own personal brand, you're in 100% control of it, and no one can ever take that away. Nothing. Build your personal brand around you and around your skills and your talents, and market it. And at the end of this training, if you're like, I don't know how to make money, believe me, we're going to give you all of that. But I want you to really, really, yeah, it's true. A lot of people, honestly, you guys, like, I think that, and for those of you that are just getting started, and this was even a big leap for you to be like, I just wanted the training to like dive into that a little bit. That's what actually hurts people a lot. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to love the failures, because the failures are what teach you. But I'm telling you right now, the safest business model I've ever done, and if you haven't watched my story, I have been an entrepreneur for 13 years. 13 years. I'm 37 years old. I bought my first house when I was 25. I didn't want to work for anybody else. So I know that entrepreneurship is for me, but my last 2 business models, before I started my own personal brand and before I made myself my brand, I lost $175,000. And those businesses, yes, I learned something from them that I'm using, but I have thousands of people coming to my yoga studio every single month. But because I didn't know how to market, because I didn't know how to build a brand, when I walked away, I had nothing. So for building a personal brand is huge. That's where we start, is literally, and actually Nikki tomorrow is going to actually walk you guys through exactly how you start to do this. She's going to walk you through how to build your first page. She's going to walk you through exactly how to post on it and where you can start from. So remember your homework tonight. I would like to go into the Q&A and start answering questions. So for those of you that are on Facebook, please type your questions in now, and I'll make sure that I can try and keep up with them. For those of you that have raised your hands, please just type your questions in, because to be honest, I don't know how to do it. But we have about, I would say 10 more minutes, max. I also have 11% on my computer. So 7 times until I found this bid. Yes, Chelsea, that's amazing. Okay, 78 comments on Facebook. I'm gonna try and open these. If anybody's on Facebook and can see these questions, can you please let me know? But I'm gonna do 10 minutes of Q&A, so do not sit, do not wait, because it won't matter if there's questions. In 10 minutes, we're shutting down. And this is the thing, money loves speed, you guys. You have to go for what you want. Don't be shy, don't be scared. There's no such thing as a stupid question at all. I was the most annoying person when I started this business. I was like, people are gonna get annoyed with me. But guess what? I became one of the most successful. I had a question and I asked it. Don't ask questions like that, because these are business questions. You guys, if you're not here for business, it's a waste of your time, all right? What's the best way to figure out what you're really good at? Look at what you like, Lisa. That's the best way. Look at what you enjoy doing. And for those of you that are like, well, I just enjoy being a mom and I just enjoy this. Who were you before you were a parent? At least I don't know if you're a parent, but no. What do you like to do? That's the best way. Or look at how people have complimented you. No, Lincoln, I am not single. I'm very happy. I'm in a relationship that's going to last a very, very long time, possibly forever. What's the best way to build your personal brand? Kathleen, we're going to tell you how to do that this week. And that's why we wanted this to be the first training, because that's actually, this is the foundation of what we're going to teach you. We're going to teach you exactly how to build a personal brand, because that's what we do. That's exactly what all 5 of us have done, is build a personal brand. So that's what this week's going to all be about. Okay, what's the best, how do you match your talent with the biz idea? So this is the thing, is the best thing, honestly, for you to do at this time, and I'll be straight up with this, is find a business model that is effective and that works. And I tell this to people all the time. If you jump into a business model that you love and that you're so passionate about and you don't know what you're doing and it fails, you might lose your passion for it. And that almost happened to me. Opened my yoga studio, almost went bankrupt. And I stopped doing yoga for like 2 years. I didn't teach for 3. And it wasn't until I started doing, I got successful in the marketing industry and I did the training. And that's why we wanted to give you guys a full week of training. So understanding marketing, understanding branding, understanding, don't worry about the product or don't worry about that. And I know that sounds crazy because everyone's like, well, what are we selling? I'm like, just learn the techniques and then let's drive traffic to something that works. And then once you have the understanding of it, then move forward. So for those of you trying to figure out what business model, what to do, don't worry about that right now. We want to be able to kind of tailor to everybody. So there's some of you that already have something going and you already know and might be already working. Continue on that. For those of you that don't have anything, we have something for you that I really, really, truly think that is a great place to start. But I have worked with people that have found their thing. So maybe after this week, you might have a moment. But I tell people, don't jump into your business, your passion project, until you know what you're doing in marketing, in branding, in social media marketing, in entrepreneurship. It's really important because I would hate to see, for you guys to see, like, put everything, all your money, all your investments into something and it not work because you're using it as your guinea pig. Don't use your passion project as your guinea pig, please. I did it. Kathleen, what's the best way to build your, what's the best way to brand yourself? I feel like that's kind of the same question, Misty. We're going to teach you how to start doing that. That's all this week. We're going to teach you how to do that. You don't have to have a product to do this. Absolutely not. No, not at all. Don't worry about that part at all. Like I said, we're going to give you tools for those of you that have a business model that want to learn how to develop it. For those of you that don't have a business model or something that's already going, we have something for you. But I'm going to be honest, It doesn't matter. For those of you that have your own thing, or for those of you that don't have your own thing, the training is exactly the same. Just so you guys know, everything that we're teaching you, this is what Starbucks did. Starbucks did the exact same thing, and that's why they become the most successful coffee company in the world. Their coffee isn't even that good. It's not. But it's the #1 richest coffee company in the world. And it's because they understand what we're going to teach you, okay? How can you figure out your brand when you're not sure? When you're not sure you have many passions? Because at the end of the day, Shay, there's still things about you that make you completely unique. And that's your brand. That's you. So personal development is a huge part of what we do. And for those of you that are just I'm just not there yet, there is work that needs to be done. And it doesn't need to take a month, a year. It can take a couple weeks. But we do a ton of personal development. And we do. And we're going to give you all those strategies and exactly things that you can do on a daily basis. Because every successful entrepreneur actually has specific techniques and routines that they do. When I started this business, my business model that I thought I was going to create is completely different than what it is now. This is growth. And that's a cool thing about building your personal brand, is there's going to be lots of growth in it. Would you start building a brand without knowing what business you would launch from it? Absolutely. Start branding yourself. We're going to give you exactly everything that you need to start developing content and to start creating a following and a potential clientele. My battery is about 5%, so no more questions. I'm just going to answer what I have in here. Best way to start in a small town. The beautiful thing about what we do is, doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter, because we use 100% online, and that is where you want to get to. Don't worry about friends and family. Don't worry about your next door neighbors. Most people that I work with, I have never even met in my life. That's cool. So by using myself as my brand, I have the ability to have whatever I have a passion for as my project: photography, interior design, crafting. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But going back to what I said, don't use your passions as your guinea pig either, because the only difference between successful people online and non-successful people online is education. And that's why we're here too. I love talking to people one-on-one, but not really public speaking. Is there a way I can turn this into an online business? Absolutely, Emily. So what I really want to instill in you guys is, I don't want you guys to go home tonight, and this is kind of what I really want to leave you on. I don't want you to go home tonight and spend a ton of time trying to figure out what you're going to create. I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is I want you to dig into your talents and how you're applying them into your life, so you can find how you're valuable as a personal brand. As far as what you create long-term, when I started this business, I had no idea what I wanted to do. All I knew was that everything that I had tried had failed. And I went, I just need to go to somebody who has the results that I want, and I'm going to listen to everything that they say, and I'm going to throw any concept or any idea out the window, and I'm just going to do what they say. That's how I started. It wasn't until I started my marketing business and I started my brand and I took the training that I really went, and that it wasn't until then that I launched 2 other businesses. So I actually did just the marketing and the training and the affiliate marketing for a 1.5 years before I launched any other business. And then I just launched my last one 3 months ago. So that was my 3rd business. So that's what I mean. Don't use the stuff that don't try and create something right now. Don't worry about that part. How do you get back when you lose really bad? Well, if you guys haven't seen the Bob Proctor thing that I posted in the group, just type in, just type in Shauna Clark. You'll see a post I did. Listen to that. Listen to what money really is. If for those of you that haven't seen it, please go on and listen to that. That will answer your question, Nathan. How do you cope with friends and family seeing you brand yourself in the start? There's lots of different ways. You can hide your posts on your business page. That's what I did. I hid them from you can only hide them from provinces and cities and states and countries. I did that. But I only did that for a few months. And then I was like, I really don't care what people think about me anymore. And there's a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. If you've never read it, read it. Because at the end of the day, it's your business, your life, your brand. Doesn't matter what anybody else says. Nobody else is doing the work that you're doing to try and better yourself and move yourself forward. This is a unique industry. There's a ton of success in it, but a lot of people have a hard time wrapping their heads around it. So I just basically didn't answer any questions. I could tell when people were just fishing, right? Do you feel you need your name? And yeah, I absolutely do. I think that your name is your brand. Shauna Clark. Shauna Clark's my brand. I have 2 other companies. And I'm not going to plug my companies in here just because I don't want to do that. But my other companies don't have the same name as me, but everything I market to those brands is from Shauna Clark. I have an ability to adapt and always being able to manage to grow through the ranks of an organization, but always work, 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 and done not being financially rewarded. Erin, did you watch my live? I tried to build my own business about 7 years ago, but we lost it all. How do we build and develop? But I'm unsure where the money will come from. So there's a ton of different places that the money can come from. I don't want to get into that right now. But at the end of the day, you don't need a ton. You don't. Not for what we do, actually. And that's the thing. Like, I spent $100,000 on my first company, so I get that, and $75,000 on my second company. My third company was like way less than that. And the thing is, the offers can run anywhere from $99 up until $30,000. So it doesn't matter where the money comes from. It's like, what do you want? And this is what I want to actually leave you guys with. What do you want? What do you want? So last homework for tonight. What do you want? How much money do you want to make? What do you want your life to look like? And I want you to sit every single morning for the next 7 days, and I want you to paint your perfect life before you get out of bed every single morning. And if that means you need to set your alarm to get up a little earlier, do it. Because if you don't have a compass and you don't have a direction, nothing else will matter. I'm telling you right now, this sounds hokey pokey, but I've done it and it works and it's full fail proof. If you know where you want to go, everything else will line up. That is a fact. How fast will you be successful in it? Ramona, that is completely, there are no answers for that. But we're going to give you all the tools that you need. The fact, what it actually depends on is your consistency, your clarity, and your dedication, and your hunger. Got to be hungry. So I hope this was helpful for you guys tonight. No more questions tonight. This went about 10 minutes longer, or 20 minutes longer than I was hoping. Everybody has homework to do. Just a little teeny bit. It's not a lot. And we will see you guys tomorrow. You guys are going to hear from some amazing people tomorrow. They're going to do a live in the group. And then tomorrow night, at the same time, we'll have another training. If you need to go back and watch this, it will be recorded and it will be put in the unit section under day 1. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of you. I want to make all the money, Ainsley. Yes, don't we all? Money buys experiences. Money changes lives. Thanks, James. Bye, Larry. Bye, Kat. Bye, Minda. Take care, you guys.